World was listening, and they offered their congratulatory remarks to the people of the Republic of Kenya. Our Betty Kialo on the other side at the Super Bowl, and you've got all the details.
Indeed, thank you very much. And like I mentioned, there are so many messages that were coming through from our leaders across the globe, and I'll just share them with you here on the Super Bowl. Starting us off, it is Kofi Annan. The fortitude and dignified behavior of the Kenyan electorate have been widely acknowledged and have rightfully won the praise of domestic and international election observer groups. That was the message that was sent by Kofi Annan. You'll remember that he played a major role in the mediation between Raila Odinga and Mwai Kibaki back in 2008. Let's move on to the next message. The next message, please. There we go. I congratulate the Kenyan people for a peaceful election. The decisive victory was a testimony the faith and the trust to the people of Kenya had in him. That is, of course, former President Mwai Kibaki, who, if you remember, groomed Uhuru Kenyatta for the political scene. The third message, I want to congratulate the people of Kenya for voting peacefully on March 4th and all those elected to office. I am inspired by the overwhelming desire of Kenyans to peacefully make their voices heard. That's US Secretary of State John Kerry. That's from the States. Moving on to the UK, I congratulate the Kenyan people for the peaceful election. The UK greatly values its deep and historic partnership with Kenya and will continue to work in support of stability, security, development and prosperity. That is UK Minister for Africa, Mark Simmons. This, of course, positive messages coming through from the international scene. Also from the European Union, Kenyans have shown a strong commitment to the electoral democracy by peacefully exercising their democratic rights. The EU congratulates all those who have been elected successfully. That is the European Union. Also, if you remember, they brought in a number of observers to just follow and keep track of the elections that we just had. Moving on to African leaders, our simple understanding is that anyone who has been accused is innocent until proven guilty. So why should you punish a man before the man is found guilty? Moving on, who knows what will be the result of the case? He might be convicted, he might be acquitted. That's a very strong message there coming from Jacob Zuma. Moving on to another leader here in Africa, I am writing to congratulate you on the historic victory you achieved by winning the tightly contested presidential election in Kenya. Ugandans and the NRM congratulate you. That's the message by Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni. Definitely some positive messages coming there. We also have Martha Karua, who was one of the presidential candidates. Kenyans have spoken, and we will respect their decision. We had pledged to abide by the results of the electoral process and hereby keep that promise to Kenyans. Also, she goes on to say, we wish the incoming government well and urge them to uphold the Constitution. That's Martha Karua, definitely for you. Also, just to note is that Peter Kenneth also said that he actually called Uhuru Kenyatta to just congratulate him. And of course, there's a positive messages coming through. So many of them. Also, the messages were directed to Kenyans also, and of course across the world, people just appreciating how Kenyans maintained the peaceful election and also wished Uhuru Kenyatta all the best in his tenure.